Hi y'all, welcome to today's Bold and Beautiful Chat. Liam asked Steffi, why is she hesitating about telling Thomas the truth about Caroline's health. And they both agree it's wrong for Caroline and Bill to have done that. Caroline is telling Bill this whole charade is going to end today. She wants Thomas to be with her because that's where he wants to be. Eric called Sheila and told her he's back with Quinn. Sheila said she's happy if that's what he wants, and he would prefer Sheila move away from where he lives, or the same city, and to not contact him and just stay away. He asked if his gold watch had been found, and she had said it had, and that she would return it to Forrester. He said it was a gift from Stephanie. Steffi wishes Bill hadn't done the thing about Caroline, and that Liam and Steffi, say, what if they tell Thomas and he abandons Caroline? But Liam says that that's not going to happen. And Caroline knows that Liam knows now, and she's very upset that anybody knows about it, the lie. Steffi said maybe Bill's extreme measures are for the best. And Caroline wants to know how Liam found out about the lie. And Bill said Sally told him. Caroline insists she's going to tell Thomas the truth. And Steffi said not to interfere, said that to Liam. And Thomas is where he needs to be, Steffi said. Eric tells Pam and Charlie that Sheila will be stopping by later to drop off his watch, and Charlie offers to send someone to pick it up from Sheila so that she won't even be on the Forrester property. And Sheila goes to Eric's house. Instead of delivering the watch to Forrester, she goes to Eric's house, knocks on the door, and no one answers. So she just let herself in the house, and she starts hollering for Eric and says, "I brought your watch." And Quinn comes down the stairs and asks Sheila, what is she doing there? Liam says, what about Sally? Does Sally really want, does Steffi really want to make Sally a victim? Steffi has no remorse for Sally, she says, and no use for her, and she just wants her brother away from Sally. Caroline asks why the address to Bill's big skyscraper sounds familiar, and then she figures out it's the address for Spectra, and she really gets upset because she realizes that Bill wants the Spectra property for his skyscraper, and he's not really interested in her and her relationship with Thomas. Quinn texts Eric and says Sheila is there. Quinn said Sheila should have dropped off the watch at Forrester, and Quinn said to just leave the watch and get out. Sheila said Eric might want to see her, and she doesn't want to leave. Sheila questions Quinn's character, and Quinn will never be good enough for Eric, Sheila said. Quinn's portrait shouldn't be hanging on the wall, and Quinn asked her whose portrait should be there, and then she says, yours, Sheila? And Steffi said, Spectra will tank, and that's a good thing. For now, Liam will keep his mouth shut and just see how things go. What will Thomas say when he finds out about Bill building the skyscraper on the Spectra property? And that's what Caroline wants to know. And Sheila insults Quinn, and Quinn tells her to leave Eric's watch and to just get out And she tells Sheila not to come back around any of the Forsters ever again. Quinn called Sheila the B word, and Sheila turned around and said, "What did you call me?" And she said, "I called you a bee." And Sheila started fighting Quinn, and they were really tussling and flipping over couches and things like that, and they were throwing things at each other, all kinds of knickknacks, vases, everything like that. Big glass coffee table broke. And so Quinn got a fire poker after Sheila and was poking it towards her and all that. And Sheila hid behind a chair as she was throwing stuff and all, and she didn't see Quinn come up behind her, and Quinn took the poker and laid it across her neck and started choking her with it. And then Sheila got away, and there was more fighting and throwing stuff. And then Sheila got Quinn up against the fireplace and used the poker and kept had it across her neck and was pushing and pushing until eventually Quinn passed out, or it looked like Quinn passed out with the poker. And Sheila turned around and started to leave and started to walk towards the door. And Quinn woke up, and she picked up something kind of flat and square and black, and I don't know what it was, but she threw it at Sheila and hit Sheila in the back of the head, and Sheila falls down on her back. And Quinn ran over and gave her foot a kick and said her name and all that, and she didn't respond. And her head is bleeding. You can see the blood pooling up around her head. And Eric walks in and asks what happened. He kneels down to Sheila, and he keeps saying her name over and over. And the way he said her name made me kind of think he cared about her. It seemed like a little bit of feeling in it. Whether or not there was, it's just what it seemed like to me. And Eric asked Quinn what happened, what had she done. And Quinn stands there breathing real hard because she had just had this big fight, but she's not saying anything to Eric. So that was the end of the show for today. And my husband and I were discussing if we thought Sheila was dead or not. He likes the show too. And I don't believe that Sheila is dead, but my husband kind of thinks she may be. And so that's how we feel about that. And I think that Caroline will wind up telling Thomas probably maybe by the end of next week. I think Thomas will know about the health lie about Caroline. So anyway, thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you every time you stop in. Have a great evening, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.